Hey everybody! In today's video, I'm going to show you a couple of quick and easy ways to get metallic shiny textures on top of your gel press prints or other backgrounds that you might have sitting in your UFO pile. The UFO pile is the unfinished objects pile. First, I'm going to take some pumpkin smooch ink. It comes in a little bottle like a fingernail polish bottle. And the applicator is not like a brush, it's firmer, it's more like a pen. So I use the side of it to apply ink to background stamps. And then just press a gel print, or in this case, one of my Drunken Acrylic Reveal backgrounds, onto the stamp just to pick up a little bit of shiny texture. And it's much shinier and more metallic than gold ink, so it gives you a really different effect. Next, I'll be using an acrylic block with a little bit of Versamark or another watermark ink on it. And that just gives the Smooch ink something to grab onto. And I'll create sort of almost a patina look here with pumpkin gold and a little bit of green. So sort of the way that aged copper would look, just for a subtle accent on one of these acrylic backgrounds. And it really jazzes them up. These backgrounds were some of my rejects from my Drunken Acrylic Reveal video, which I'll link you to. And adding this little bit of metallic ink just jazzes them up and makes them much more interesting and usable, and they can then come out of the UFO pile. So you can see how shiny that is, and it stays that shiny when it's dry, as you'll see at the end of the video. So I'll repeat this process. You don't really need more Versamark in between, and I'm going to show you later you don't actually need Versamark at all. It just depends on if you're going for kind of a subtle background or a more prominent presentation of the ink. I love this pumpkin ink, and I also love the gold. One of them is just a lot warmer. I find that the pumpkin on top of backgrounds really looks like copper. Next, I will use a stencil, and I'll add some ink to the block. I can just pour it out of the bottle. And just use my finger to apply the ink through the stencil. And I'm going to get a very subtle giraffe pattern. I was thinking I wanted to make a cute little giraffe card. This is watercolor paper and just a wash of Quinacridone Gold and Quinacridone Rose watercolor on the back. And now I have a fun, shiny giraffe texture with the Smooch ink. Very fun. Now these backgrounds turn into something much more interesting. So I'll just clean the block by adding a bit more of the ink to one of these Drunken Acrylic Reveal backgrounds. Just make it a little bit shinier. You can see how it really saves them and makes them into something usable. Now I have two more tricks. I want more ink on these next two backgrounds, and I'm going to do two different textures. One, I'm applying the ink directly to the acrylic paint, and I'm moving the block around to get dendritic sort of textures. I'll link you to my dendritic printing video. And then if you pat and lift, you'll get smaller, more granular textures with the ink that is very pretty, looks like an underwater scene. And you can see there's quite a bit of ink in these little bottles, so I'm going to pour that out again. And this time I want more smooth coverage because I'm going to be adding alcohol for texture, and so I'm not lifting the block as much, and I'm going to add even a little bit more just to get a little bit more ink down before I add the alcohol. You can see how thick you can get it there, which is really fun. And you can almost cover up all the paint if you just smoothly move your block around. This is a bottle of rubbing alcohol, and I will just drop little drops of it from the container and the little spritzer end until it reveals the blue underneath. So it's funny because this was a reveal print anyway, and then I'm doing an extra reveal on top of that. So here's what some of the finished projects look like. In my humid climate, acrylic paint plus this ink doesn't dry that well. So I added a little bit of microglaze to the top of some of these to seal them up. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks so much for watching.